when we now remember, or we look at the fact that retail sales were actually down that period, were warnings such as these...
Hi folks, this is the Mayor here. This is the greatest moment in the life of London for 50 years. We're welcoming more than 1 million people a day to our city. There's going to be huge pressure on the transport network. Don't get caught out.
Were they perhaps a little bit misplaced? Did you effectively encourage people not to come into our great city?
No, I don't think so. I think the analysis is that it was right, completely right, to alert people to the travel preparations that were necessary to make the Olympics work. And I think all the negative stuff, we remember in the months, years leading up to the Olympics, the big thing people moaned on about was that the transport system wouldn't cope, that there would be traffic jams, London would get a terrible reputation. So we had to work very, very hard to get that right. And I really pay tribute to TfL, Peter Hendy, all his guys. They did an amazing job. And one of the things that I was tasked with doing was getting people to look at our website, get ahead of the games. And I think when you look at the results...
But retail sales fell,
when you look at the success we delivered in getting every athlete to their venues on time, every journalist, every Olympic bureaucrat got to the place they needed to go. I mean, it was virtually unprecedented.
But what about
success.
London businesses, businessmen, and businesswomen whose takings were down?
It was patchy, and it was... Some people did very well, particularly businesses that prepared and thought about the kind of things they were going to sell. But I think in terms of the and it's now, the numbers picked up again very rapidly thereafter. But in terms of the global reputation of London and the net,
Londoners,
the net
keep saying
positive,
that, Mr. Mayor, as if your loyalty, your responsibility is to London 2012 and to the global position of London. Surely it's also responsible to Londoners who pay taxes,
the two things
and their businesses suffered. Sales were
well,
down.
Hang on, I mean,
London was like a ghost town.
No, that's not true.
For those first weeks.
No, again, that's not true. I mean, for the first few days, it's certainly true that people were alarmed. There was a lot of alarmist stuff, but actually what happened was that Oxford Street rapidly picked up. You saw huge crowds in the West End. And as I say, businesses that did make preparation, businesses that thought ahead, did very well. So, I'm not I know there'll be lots of taxi drivers listening to this and cursing me and saying,
you'll be speaking with some in a
I can
moment.
imagine. And I'm not going to pretend that it was a bonanza for everybody. But and to those who feel hard done by, yes, of course, I'm sorry for the losses that they, or for the lower takings that they had. But the overall net, and I must repeat this point, the overall net economic benefit to London of people around the world seeing a city that could deliver an amazing event like that so successfully was incredibly positive. And it's the benefits in terms of retail spend were huge. I mean, if there was a big increase in overall spending in the city. So, and there was a big increase in overall tourist numbers. And you saw the visa figures. I mean, there were big increases.